Welcome to the Native Diamond Podcast.
Oh, shit! What you waiting for?
What the fuck is up, everyone? Seth Mick here with a new episode of Native Diamond Podcast. And on today's show, we are going to talk all about the band 09 because I have EJ Olson on the show, the drummer from that project. Such a sick project. If you've never heard of 09, a little background is they have foregone having a lead vocalist. So basically, they're taking all these singers from across the scene, some of your favorites. We're not trying to name drop, but you know, Matty Mullins, Rory Rodriguez, Cove, Reber, Kellin, Quinn, and there's going to be much more that he couldn't really say, but I cannot wait to see who else they have going on their full-length album. They just did a song with Matty Mullins. The song is called Masquerade. You should look it up. It's fucking dope, and it's going to be in the Hidden Gems section. We're going to play some music later from 09, and it was such a fun conversation talking to EJ. You know when you talk to people for the first time, and you're like, wow, dude, like I feel like I've known you forever. It's kind of like that situation with EJ. Such a relatable guy. We have a lot in common, and it was a genuinely fun fucking time talking to this dude. I just want to tell you what I've been up to lately. So yesterday, I checked out a fucking food documentary, and I feel like at the beginning of next year, your boy is gonna try to make the leap to go full vegan. I've been like flirting with that vegetarian shit for a while, but after I learned some information about just like harvesting fish and all this type of shit, like it just totally just made me not want to eat sushi ever again, and it just fucking ruined me. But yeah, I'm one of those hippie motherfuckers who believes that animal cruelty is terrible. So I ask you all, here's a plead from Native Diamond: go check out any kind of food documentary if you've never seen one, and really just be aware of like what you're putting into your body. I feel like now we should really be conscious of what we're putting into our system and trying to stay and be the best, healthiest version of ourselves as possible. But anyway, I know you guys aren't here to get a fucking lecture about food. We're here to talk about music, but that's just what I've been up to. Hang out, listen to EJ and me talk shit about music across the scene and all that jazz. You know the drill. Stick around. What's up, my dudes? Seth Mick here. This is Native Diamond Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I really do appreciate you guys. And on today's show, I'm hanging out with EJ Olson of 09, based in Portland, Oregon. What's going on, man?
Dude, thank you for having me, man.
Of course. Wouldn't miss this for anything. I've heard the singles. I like what I've heard. I've heard Masquerade. I think you guys have something really awesome going on. So, of course, I had to get you guys on the show.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, if you've never seen the show, I start off with icebreaker questions. They're about 25 or so off the top, either or style questions. Just say the first thing that comes to mind, and if you want to pass, feel free to pass.
I'm not a quick decision maker here, so this will be interesting.
You'll get the gist of it once I start popping them off. So we'll kick it off with the first one. Okay, who had a better album this year? Make Them Suffer or Currents?
Currents. I've listened to a couple times. I have a buddy who's like super into them, and he sent the record to me. I haven't heard the Make Them Suffer record, but I will for sure check it out.
Right on. Yeah, I've been listening to both. It's been kind of hard because I'm coming up with like an album of the year show. So I've been jamming all these like metalcore albums. It's kind of overwhelming though. There's like so many releases this year. It's ridiculous. But anyway, next question. Mathcore or post-hardcore?
Oh, post-hardcore for sure. Yeah.
What's some of your favorite post-hardcore bands?
Oh my God. That's such a broad question, right?
Right.
I would say some of the early stuff that was a huge influence on me is like Circuit Survive, Saosin. God. Yeah, those are kind of the two big ones from like back in high school, but that's such a broad genre now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like almost any band can come in and be like, yeah, we're post-hardcore, but that could mean anything, right? So
Yeah. That's so true. Dude, I love Circuit Survive. Anthony Green was one of my first followers on Twitter, which was kind of funny. But I think he just follows whoever it doesn't. But anyway, next question. Memphis May Fire or Silent Planet?
Dude, okay, this is a hard one. Okay, I'm gonna say Silent Planet because I'm generally just into the heavier side of things. Obviously, I love Matty and I love what he does. It's actually funny in the song Matty sings with us. There's actually a Silent Planet lyrical reference in the bridge of that song.
Huh.
So that's a funny question. Yeah, I that's a tough one for me, but I'm into the heavier stuff. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of like scoping out and peeped out the playlist that you guys have on Spotify. I guess they're like handpicked songs that you guys put together. It was like 12 songs or something like that.
Our quarantine playlist.
Yeah,
From
that's
a few
it.
months back. Yeah, cool.
And I saw like Silent Planet on there. I love those guys, man. I saw them at Warped Tour, and that was about it. I think I saw them twice, but dude, they're super sick.
Yeah, man, I'm into them for sure.
Nice. Okay, so which would you rather do? Would you rather brewery hop or drink around a bonfire?
Oh man, I think I'd rather drink around a bonfire. I think I do more brewery hopping in my day.
Mhm.
Just that's just the nature where I live. But
Mhm.
I'm a bonfire guy. I want to be at the coast, get a fire going. Hell yeah.
Nice. Do you guys, or have you guys been getting out a lot lately or getting together? Just I know times are kind of rough right now, but have you managed to get out and have some type of a human interaction?
Dude, for the most part, I haven't. I lost my job in March. As soon as everything kind of started popping off, and just kind of been hunkered down. I was working at an ad agency, and I was freelancing doing video stuff. And pretty much everything got canned back in March and April. So I've just been hunkered down working on tunes. I actually did get out just this last weekend and filmed a music video, which is the first work I've done at all this year. So that was cool. We were outdoors, drove up to Portland, and it was fun. Everyone's masked up and the whole 9 yards. So
Right.
it was cool though.
Yeah, it's been tough, but I've been trying, with discretion, but trying to have some type of human interaction because it's crazy, man. Just doing Zoom calls and shit. It just feels like, I don't know, you're just always looking at someone through like a window, it's just kind of weird. But anyway, next question. I don't know if you're into like pro wrestling or anything like that, but pro wrestling or pro football?
Oh God, man. Neither. Yeah, I'm not. I have a couple of buddies who are really into wrestling and they've tried to get me into it over the years.
Mhm.
But I hate football. I am anti-football. So I'm a big basketball guy. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So Trailblazers, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. I like the Charlotte Hornets and they suck. So
Hey
that's
man,
why
Gordon Hayward. We'll see what happens with him, man.
yeah.
That was a little bit of a head scratcher, but if he's healthy, you never know.
I was so like upset when we lost Kimba, man, but
Yeah,
it is what it is. I understand the decision. So it's all business.
for sure.
All right, who is the better vocalist? Dustin Kensrue Thrice or Shane Told Silverstein?
Oh, Dustin for sure. Thrice is a massive influence on Chance and I.
Mhm.
Been huge fans of them for years and years. So yeah, Dustin for sure. I will say, I listened to Silverstein for like the first time this year, which
Mhm.
sounds weird because like I came up like mid 2000s. They were huge back then.
Mhm.
Dude, their new album, really good.
Yeah,
Really cool.
definitely. Well, there's no shame in that, dude. Because I mean, there's so many freaking bands out here. It's like it would be impossible to just know everything about every band. Like, there's so many bands that like are at the top, or so to speak, air quotes, but they fly under the radar because people are creatures of habit. You listen to the same stuff usually. You know what I mean? Like you get stuck in a
Yeah.
groove, right? So,
Like what
um,
was the Silverstein's early, like, was it Discovering the Waterfront was what took off in the mid
um,
2000s?
honestly, I'm not really sure. Like I got into Silverstein when they did Shipwreck in the Sand.
Okay.
So, I mean, that was early, but not like the beginning or the conception or whatever.
Yeah. Dude, in
So,
like 2007, I was listening to like Job for a Cowboy and shit. Like I didn't
oh
want
yeah.
anything to do with like a band like Silverstein back when I was like, a 14-year-old or whatever.
Right.
But I've grown
Yeah.
up a little bit.
So, have you regressed, I guess, like you've went from heavier to more soft type stuff, or
I think I just kind of opened my mind a little bit more. When I was younger, I was just, a big angry dude and I just wanted to listen to heavy shit. If it wasn't heavy enough, I was like, dude, fuck those guys. And yeah, and then you grow up a little bit and you start to realize, like I said earlier, like Saosin is one of those bands where I'm like, oh dude, that dude's ripping a metal riff, but I can sing along to it. What is this?
right.
Um, so yeah, I've gone back and been able to listen to a lot of stuff I missed
Mhm.
growing up. So that's cool.
That makes sense. And like, you being a huge Thrice fan, I want to know, like, how do you feel about the new stuff? Like, I guess they've kind of gotten softer, so to speak. What do you think about it?
So I know that there's like a division in the fan base when it comes to Thrice. Um, and I think this is probably an unpopular opinion, but I think I prefer Thrice's career like post Alchemy Index.
Oh,
I
okay.
love Alchemy Index. And I thought their To Be Everywhere is to Be Nowhere is a phenomenal record. I get why people may not be into it. Like they just kind of went in a more rocky direction, and
Mhm.
especially when you look at like Artists in the Ambulance and what they were doing early on for the scene, like it was huge.
Right.
Um, but like I feel like Thrice has always been one step ahead of whatever the scene is doing, you
Yeah,
know?
definitely. They're
And
definitely in the
so
forefront.
right. So kudos to them, man. But yeah, I definitely, when they settled down a little bit and I guess grew up a little bit. Like I respect the older stuff, and like again, it was important for the scene, and it was cool and all. But yeah, I love what they've done the last 10 years.
Nice. I need to get more into them. I feel kind of guilty because that's like one of those bands. I guess it's kind of like Silverstein for you. Well, that's like Thrice for me. Like I've never really checked them out. Like I've heard, their famous songs or whatever, but I've never
Yeah,
really like went through their discography like that. So
for sure.
need to get on it. Which have you spent money on recently? New kicks or band merch?
I think I bought new shoes recently. I haven't spent. I haven't, like I said, I haven't left my house really. So I think my last purchase was in like February.
Hmm.
Um, I think I got a pair of Jordans, like
Nice.
the original, you know, throwbacks they released.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I bought I bought a pair of Jordans probably last year, and I never wore them because they're not that comfortable. I thought they would be a lot more comfortable.
Yeah,
But I
for
got the
sure.
retros, so like that was my bad, I guess. But anyway, Attila or A Day to Remember?
Oh. um, Neither of them now.
Right.
I love The Day to Remember in high school. For those who have heart, one of my all-time favorite records.
Hmm.
Homesick's great. But I pretty much haven't really been into them since Homesick. Um,
Hmm.
Loved Attila's like first three records. Haven't really kept up with them. Like I don't know, they put out like I think the last record that they put out that I liked was in 2014.
Yeah, probably.
But like, shout out to Franz for just being a fucking wacko, dude, and just like get after it. Like he's his own thing, you know. So I
Yeah.
respect that.
Yeah, he's interesting, but I think like, as a business person, I think he's killing it, and like, he knows how to make moves and he knows how to draw attention to himself. So
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's one of those bad publicity. Bad publicity is still good publicity at the end of the day. So
he seems to be doing all right.
Yeah, he seems to be doing just fine.
Yeah,
I think the merch is what makes him all the money. Or I think he even said that in an interview, like no jumper or some shit. But
yeah.
But anyway, interesting guy. It's kind of weird with Day to Remember. I guess all the controversy. I wonder if that's deterred a lot of people from really like checking out their newer stuff now.
Yeah, they're still like on top of the world as far as like, streaming numbers, and like I don't think they're hurting, but as far as like their place in the zeitgeist, I think is definitely been over for a while. And of course there have been allegations of this and that, and they've had the label drama, and they it is what it is. But I just think I grew out of that kind of stuff, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
People are into it, whatever.
Right. Which social media platform gets the most interaction for your band? Instagram or Twitter?
Oh, Instagram for sure. Our Twitter is like very neglected.
Really?
I made it on a whim, and sometimes I'll retweet shit, but yeah, it's dead. So Instagram for sure.
Seems like with a band, I feel like a Twitter would be kind of hard to kind of stay on top and like really just be a viral, Twitter account or something like that, unless you're like trapped and just saying crazy shit. But
yeah. Well, I think Twitter is like, I'm 28. So I'm one of the OG Twitter users. I think I made a Twitter my junior year of high school. Dude, kids these days that want to be on Twitter, it's full of like old journalists and like, corporate accounts, like, So I think Twitter is not the greatest place for that sort of thing, but I don't know. What the fuck do I know?
I like metalcore Twitter. It's pretty interesting when you find all the people that just like stands of like metalcore and just like the scene. If you find those people, it's really interesting and it's funny. But a lot of it now, I feel like, is like promoting your OnlyFans, and like it's just a lot of, in my opinion, I always see like fucking half naked pictures on Twitter. So it's just like, it's just become this thing that I don't think it was ever intended to be.
I think about the early days of like the post-hardcore metalcore scene, like MySpace, right? And sort of the inception of, like, we had this brief window, and this is going to make me sound like a fucking boomer, but we had this brief window where no one knew what was going on. We suddenly had this like unparalleled access to these artists with MySpace and, even like Pure Volume, and just be able to distribute your music, but also interact with your fans. So there was like this window where it hadn't been corporatized and no one had figured it out. And like the labels weren't in on it yet. And it was just young dudes, teenagers, early 20-year-olds just doing it. And there's like something so cool about that period of time that I don't think we'll ever see again.
Right.
With social media. So
yeah, that's so true. Do you get on like TikTok or anything like that?
Hell no. When TikTok took off, I was like, oh, sick, Vine is back.
Right.
Nope. I realized I got old since Vine died. So it's not for me. You see him occasionally on Instagram or whatever, but yeah, no, not for me.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, like being in the restaurant world, like there will be like younger people obviously in the kitchen or out front, but then they'll say like TikTok terms, and I'm like, what does that mean? And I feel like fucking I feel like such a like this old ass Zoomer guy over here, like, what does that mean? Like, and I'm like, fuck, man, I'm so behind the times now. It's crazy.
I've thought for years, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna turn into like my parents, I was like, there's no way. Like, I'm obviously I grew up in the age of the internet. Like, what am I gonna miss out on? Well, everything apparently.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, next question: stage dive or standing in the back?
I'm too old to be stage diving anymore. That's a young man's game, man. Yeah, I anymore I'm in the back with a beer,
Hmm.
and just relaxing. But um, if it's a band I'm really into, like I try to get up front and get a little crazy. But it's
Hmm.
can't do it like I did when I was 18. You know.
Right. That's funny. I really ask because some people surprise the fuck out of me and they'll say, stage dive, and I'm like, wow. So I don't think, it's personal preference for sure. Fever 333 or Wage War?
I'm gonna go Fever. I don't really care for either of the bands. I will say I liked the Fever's first EP. I liked Wage War's first album. But I am a massive Let Live fan. Like,
Okay.
uh, yeah, the shit Jason did, you know, God, it's 10 years ago now. Probably one of my biggest influences as like an adult. Like I was 18, I
Hmm.
think, when I first heard Let Live, and I probably saw him, I don't know, 9 or 10 times. Huge influence on me. So I'm gonna go Fever on this. Just
Just
for the,
because.
the influence Jason had on me. Yeah. So
Nice. All right. So this is going to be pertaining to albums that they put out this year. 4 Year Strong or Kingdom of Giants?
4 years strong.
Sick. No
Yeah.
hesitation.
Yeah.
You have you been jamming that a lot lately, or
Yeah. That came out in like what, February, I want to say.
it was early?
Like right or maybe March, right before the world kind of went belly up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I just have some good memories with that, man. I was on vacation out at the coast when that album came out, and so now when I listen to it's like, oh, the before times, like we were on vacation, relaxed and living it up, and then a week later the world went to shit. So
Right. Do you
yeah,
think that has a lot to do with it? Like let's just say timing of albums dropping and the relevance it has, like what's going on in your life at the time. Do you think that has a lot to do with how much you like an album or not?
I think it does have a big impact. I think it has a bigger impact on how important a record might be to you, like down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but also like a good example is Dayseeker. I remember when Sleep Talk came out, I had this other musical project I'm in. My buddy was like, "Dude, you have to listen to this," and he played the single, and I was like, "Yeah, I don't know, man." Like it just, it didn't click for me. And then this year, I just went back to it. It was in my saved albums. I went back to it, and I'm like, "Holy shit, this is an amazing album!" And I'm kicking myself for not getting into it last year or whatever.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it's a time and place thing to a degree, but I know the albums that I love the most and love revisiting the most are tied to, you know, something really particular or special that was happening at the time, right?
Right.
Like it's never like, oh man, remember that album I was listening to a lot when I was like, you know, stuck in college courses sitting there, no, it's always something, special. So I think that does play into it.
Definitely. Not really a guilty pleasure, but I was stuck on like Post Malone, his new album,
Cool.
because I got married, and when we were on our honeymoon, I remember just like fucking listening to that song a lot. So like now I listen back to that song when I don't know, when you want to feel comfortable again or whatever, like when you're having a bad day. So I
Yeah,
don't
for
know.
sure.
That was kind of my relation with that. But all right. So Christmas obviously around the corner. Which Christmas movie do you like better, Bad Santa or Elf?
I'm gonna go Elf just because that's like it's like a classic for me. I remember seeing that in theaters when that came out when I was a kid. So Bad Santa, that's funny. Hell yeah,
I don't know. Like I haven't seen Bad Santa in a long time, but I need to catch up on it.
yeah, for sure.
Which are you more likely to watch? Okay. like this could be like TV or a movie, it doesn't matter. But are you going nostalgic or are you going for a new release?
I think generally I'm going to go for something nostalgic. I'm going to rewatch the show that I know that I can kind of put on in the background or fall asleep while it's playing or whatever. But this year I've watched more new shit than I have like watched in my entire life. So,
Really?
yeah, it's got nothing but time now. So
I know,
yeah.
right? So like, what are some new stuff that you've been listening to or watching? Sorry, listening to.
I watched The Boys.
Oh, dude, that's so sick.
Yeah, I got into that. That was cool. I watched Schitt's Creek for the first time all the way through,
Nice.
which I really liked.
My wife is obsessed with that show.
Yeah, dude. My girlfriend was like, "You have to watch it," and I was like, I would be in the room for an episode, and listening to those wretched people talk just made me want to,
All right.
Oh man. So I finally said, "All right, everyone's talking about it." They did the was it the Emmy sweep, I think, where they just won everything. And so I sat down and I got through the first couple episodes and I was like, okay, I get it now. I get
Yeah.
why people love this shit. So I binged that. Yeah, I think the new season of Better Call Saul, was that this year or maybe late last year, but I watched that this year.
Okay.
It was really good. But I'm currently rewatching Game of Thrones right now, which is
Nice.
kind of a mixed bag.
What platform are you watching that on?
HBO Max.
Okay. I was just wondering because I feel like I have everything, but apparently not. I don't have HBO. I want to watch The Undoing. Also, I've been hearing a lot of good stuff about that.
Yeah, I saw people on Twitter talking about that, and I get an ad for it before every episode or whatever. So maybe that's what I'll check out next.
It's supposed to be really good. I've gotten a couple of people recommend that to me, but I don't have HBO, so maybe that might be the move for you next. Who knows?
Yeah.
Do you have Netflix?
Yeah.
Have you watched Ozark?
No, my girlfriend was watching that, and I checked out an episode, but yeah, it wasn't for me.
I feel that sometimes it's not, but I that was the last thing I binged, and honestly, I haven't really been faithful to any TV show as of late. I'll watch an episode or something and then I'll fall off. Like I wanted to get into Queen's Gambit, the chess show.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I'll get back into that tonight. Who knows? But anyway, this is more of if you were to take an awesome vacation, would you rather go to Vegas or would you rather see the Northern Lights?
I'd rather go to Vegas. Yeah. Not that I don't want to see the Northern Lights, because that sounds cool.
Right.
But I love Vegas, dude. I love gambling. I love drinking. Like, yeah. Get me in Vegas with the boys, and I'm a happy guy.
Right. We'll get into a hangover situation.
Yeah, right.
All right. So this is a tricky one. Okay. So there's a catch to this.
Okay.
Would you rather have the COVID vaccine or one stack, $1,000? But the catch is you can't buy the vaccine with the money.
If getting the vaccine means I get to go back to my life without the threat of getting seriously ill or getting someone I love seriously ill, I'd take the vaccine all day. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's where I'm leaning.
I feel that sentiment. Yeah. I was listening to this podcast the other day. I'm like a freaking religious Joe Rogan listener. And he was talking to, I don't know, some professor from Yale who had some part in the vaccine or whatever. But anyway, he was explaining it. And so like the best way I could describe it was like he was saying, okay, at this point right now, if you were to contract it, you have a 99% survival rate. Now, if you were to take the vaccine, all it would really do is it would go from 99% to 99.9%. So in my head, I was like, well, is it even really worth taking when it's available? So that was kind of interesting.
Sure. I think what that doesn't factor in, though, is long-term health implications, A, and B, severity of of your symptoms, right? So
Mhm.
even though, yeah, it's got only like a 2% mortality rate or whatever, there are so many people who are having cardiovascular issues and, lung
Mhm.
shit. And, what are the long-term effects of having it? And, that's what's scary. Like chances
Mhm.
are as a 28-year-old, I'm probably not going to just like go belly up if I get COVID, but,
Right.
it's all the other factors. And it's like, getting a vaccine, like, even if you get COVID, now it's like 10%
Mhm.
of like what it may have been. So, and I'm saying this as someone who like I have never gotten a flu shot in my life,
Right. Me either.
which might be a dumb fucking thing. I don't know, but
Yeah, I'm not sure.
yeah, but with something like this, it's like, you know,
Right.
yeah. So we'll see
Um,
what happens.
right. Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I was just kind of playing devil's advocate. Of course, I want the vaccine, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like a catch-22 situation because we don't know like what could happen, like negative effects from the vaccine or something like that. So I don't know. It's an interesting conversation. I'm sure everyone's got their own 2 cents on that one. But next question: circle pit or wall of death?
Circle pit, bro. When I see those videos of the wall of death, I'm just like, I can't believe there aren't more horror stories of someone just getting trampled, and,
Right.
like lawsuits on these venues. Like that shit is so brutal.
Yeah.
You see the big epic ones at like Warp Tour or these big festivals, like especially in Europe, dude.
Oh my
Those
God,
dudes
that's
are fucking
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, I saw one in Russia, and that was probably the most brutal thing I've ever seen. It might have been a Attila show. I think he called for one in Russia, and I
Dude,
was like, yeah, fuck that. I'm good on that.
you
That's,
know, in Russia, someone died that day. Like,
oh yeah, dude.
that's fucking
Someone,
crazy.
and then they were probably like, fuck it, like that's how I wanted to go out, but that's not how I want to go
Hell
out.
no.
So, anyway, so let's say you're playing shows. Let's say '09 blows the fuck up. Which headliner would you rather be opening for, Slayer or Tool?
Oh God. um, from a personal taste perspective, probably Tool.
Hmm.
Although I don't really listen to either of those bands. Um, I don't know. Tool has like been MIA for so long. Like they're huge, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because I know Slayer was still touring. I had a couple buddies who went and saw them, and they were like big shows.
Right.
So from like a business perspective, I don't think either crowd would really be into what we do, you know?
Right.
So
That's kind of a goofy one I threw in there. But like I was kind of pertaining to like festivals, when you see like, I don't know, for us, like in North Carolina, we have like Epicenter Fest or whatever. And it's like a Slayer or Tool or Deftones or Godsmack or something like that. And then you'll have like Silent Planet playing under Deftones that day or something. So it's just, to me, it's like fucking really odd uh, that they're just like, oh, heavy's heavy and everyone will like this shit. And honestly, I feel like those crowds are, like you mentioned, they're very few and far between. Like a lot of
yeah,
people like that, like Tool or Slayer, probably wouldn't like, like Silent Planet or Dance Gavin Dance or something like that. So,
right. I think with festivals, it's a little bit different because obviously they're trying to sell as many tickets as possible,
mhm.
and there's a little something for everybody. With a show, like you only have 4 or 5 acts, and if you're the outlier,
Mhm.
especially if you're opening,
Yeah.
like, if you're opening for a big band like that and you're playing, like those old ass dudes want to hear Slayer, not,
Yeah.
you know, like the Silent Planet would come out and they would melt their fucking brains, and
Yeah.
so I think you have to be a little more focused when it comes to the genres, I guess, at
Mhm.
smaller gigs. But
Yeah, that's true. I saw Siler open for Chelsea Grin, and the crowd was not digging that shit at all.
dude, why is this guy rapping?
Yeah.
I want breakdowns, god damn it.
And it felt like he was like defending God, what's his name? Jay. He was like defending, not defending, but he was just kind of like, all right, full disclosure, Next song's got singing in it. The next song will have screaming or whatever. And I was
Yeah.
like, that sucks. You have to fucking just say that before you play. Like, but anyway, it was kind of goofy. So would you rather have a song featured in Tony Hawk Pro Skater's soundtrack or be on the cover of Revolver?
Fuck. Okay, that's really hard. I would rather, I think, be featured in the Tony Hawk soundtrack. You know, being on the cover of Revolver is like huge, and that's super cool. But, and maybe that's a dumb decision because Tony Hawk games aren't what they used to be. But like, dude, when I was a kid, like the Tony Hawk soundtrack, shaped my taste in music.
Yeah, me
You
too.
Like those songs live forever.
Right.
So I don't know. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
I think, yeah, just the cool factor. And like, you know, that video game will always be around. Like you could always download it, you could always have it, and there it is. So I don't know. Interesting. But I'm not gonna lie, in one of the later Tony Hawk games I played for like Xbox 360 when that first came out, and this is like high school, but it was kind of more focused on just playing songs I feel like iPod or something like that. So like it kind of like,
Yeah.
I feel like the soundtrack thing kind of lost the relevancy there, which kind of sucks.
Dude, I played the remakes this year.
Yeah, how's that?
Dude, it was such a trip. It was so cool. Like the childhood
Nice.
nostalgia coming back and like the old music and the new soundtrack was super cool. They added a bunch of stuff.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I hope this is like a revival for this
Mhm.
for this franchise because the games were awesome. They sold well, you know, so fingers crossed, you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
It's interesting. Let's see. Okay, so this is kind of funny because we were talking about Dayseeker earlier, but so Paris, the band, or Dayseeker?
Yeah, Dayseeker for me. Big time, dude. I love Rory. It's unfair how fucking good he is at what he does, dude.
Yeah.
We have a song with Rory coming out. Well, I don't know when it's coming out, but it's on the new album.
No kidding.
Yeah, so I can't wait for people to hear it. He's just so good. It's ridiculous. And listen, Paris is cool.
Mhm.
Chancellor is really into them. Our producer, you know, is into them. I couldn't name a Paris song, but they're super talented.
I like their new album a lot, but yeah, I mean that's tough, but you know, I would have to say Dayseeker. I mean, they're my vibe. I like the heaviness with the R&B. I call it R&B core, but
yeah,
I mean it's so sick. But dude, I didn't know you guys were doing a new track with them. That's gonna be fucking awesome when I hear that.
We have some sick stuff coming out, man. We did a song with Cove Reber.
Shit.
And so yeah, I can't wait for that to drop. We just wrapped something up with Kellin Quinn.
Wow, dude, you guys are really doing it, huh?
Yeah, so we're talking to a few more people. I can't say any names, but one of my all-time favorite artists. Yeah, we've been chatting, so I'm hoping it works out. So the album, the full length, is gonna be dope. I'm really excited about it.
Nice.
So
we'll get into that here in a second. We're about done with these, so don't worry. So what scares you more, clowns or aliens?
I think in a vacuum, probably clowns. I had recurring nightmares featuring Pennywise for like 10 years as a kid.
Jeez.
Like I must have been 3 or 4. And my aunt, who was babysitting me, was watching it, and I can still see the moment where I first saw that shit as a little kid.
Yeah.
And pretty much until I was 13, I had nightmares about Pennywise. Fuck clowns for sure. But like, dude, aliens are fucked up, dude.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. I don't know if you have seen that new documentary. I forget I don't even know what it's called, but it's basically like not replicate, but they have like CGI'd concepts of what alien life looks like, because they have figured out with all these exoplanets or whatever that there's like millions of other planets in this in the universe, whatever. And they were kind of like, it's crazy. It's on Netflix. I don't know what it's called. I feel terrible for even bringing it up, but they're like
for it.
They're like CGI'd and they look so fucking real. It's crazy. And it's just like all these like what aliens probably, what that planet's like, ecosystem looks like and what those animals look like, and so to speak.
Yeah.
So it's fucking interesting, dude. I was like, no shit. I was like, this would be the craziest trip on acid show to watch right here.
Dude, you were talking about Joe Rogan earlier. I've listened to a lot of the Rogan podcast where he's talking to dudes about aliens, man. He had the one guy on who claims to have worked on this alien ship or whatever.
Oh, no shit. I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, and like the guy's obviously fucking full of shit because if this was real, you wouldn't be on Joe Rogan talking about it. And B, if it were real and you were on Joe Rogan talking about it, you would be murdered. Like somebody would come after you. So it's all horseshit, but it's fascinating. Like, you know, growing up, I remember watching like Ancient Aliens,
Yes.
which is just like hokey, like bullshit, but like it fascinates me. So I'm definitely like into that kind of stuff.
Me too, man. I'm into that. Because it's like, why would that be so hard to believe? I mean, like, come on, you know, like there's other planets out there, obviously now. So obviously there's other life forms. And I don't know, what kind of freaks me out is like, you know, I tweeted this the other day and it's probably fucking really stupid, but I was like, you know how we watch documentaries on aliens? I guarantee you there's aliens watching documentaries on us right now.
Dude, did you see, I don't know, homeboy from Israel or something, but former government official came out yesterday and said that there's an intergalactic federation
What?
and that they've been in contact with Earth and that like we're a part of this galactic federation.
No.
Yeah,
shit.
dude, you gotta look it up, dude. It's crazy.
I'll look it up.
I'm like, this guy, he's just out here to the world saying this. So
yeah, and like the whole Elon Musk trying to get us to Mars, like I guarantee there's like that Space Force and all that shit. They have to know a lot more than what they're letting on. Obviously, they have to.
If I had to bet, I would probably agree. Yeah. So,
all right. I don't know if you play video games, but Overwatch or Doom?
I would say Doom. I played a little bit of Doom 2016. I'm not like super big into multiplayer shooters. I'm not MLG enough for that shit. I'm more of a single player kind of guy. So I'd go Doom.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. And we've finally approached the last question. Sorry, I've been like kind of just goofing off and rambling. But what is your pick for album of the year?
Oh shit. Okay. I make an album of the year list every single year. Nobody ever sees it. I haven't made my list yet, but I'm quickly thumbing through my phone to see what's come out this year.
Yeah.
Maybe speaking of aliens, maybe I'm Abomination's Passion of the Heist 2 that came out in April. Fucking love that record. Oh God. I really liked Silverstein's new record. I thought that was really cool. Dude, Dragged Under put out an album that I really, really liked.
They kind of remind me of Beartooth. I don't know if that's a reach, but
I think musically I could see that. And like mad props to Caleb Shomo for like being the chubby keyboard player and like a band that everyone forgot about and then like doing something really fucking cool. But like it's not for me. I'm not into Beartooth. But the dude in Dragged Under freaking rips. So
shit. I need to like listen to it more. I don't know. I heard one single and I was like, this sounds like Beartooth. And then I never went back on it. So
I would definitely give it another shot, man. It's super cool. Yeah, man, damn. That's a really tough question. I'm gonna go with the I'm Abomination record just because I probably listened to that the most this year.
Definitely.
Yeah, I was a big fan of them back in the day. I backed their Kickstarter for the new record a couple years ago. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna commit to that one.
Yeah, you got to go with the first one that comes to mind. That's the one, you know, usually.
There are a lot of good records though this year.
Oh man, it's ridiculous, dude. I was making my list and I'm like collaborating with two other podcasts and I was like, it started off at like 10, like top 10. And I was like, all right, let's do top 15 because there's just so many fucking records. And I was like, how do you guys feel about like a top 20? And they're like, nah, dude. And I was like, I mean, it's just fucking really hard to single these things down. And I feel like if you miss some out on your list, people are like, well, what about them? And I mean, like, it's really hard to pinpoint just one. in my
It's
opinion.
in some way like a tier list of your favorite records says way more about you than it does about the records.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we all internalize that when we're making these lists, because you want it to like
Sure.
reflect your tastes, but you also don't want to be like, well, I'm not going to put the new Miley Cyrus on there because people will think I'm a fucking dork or whatever. But it's like, no, like I like that shit. So
Me too.
it's tough to like, you get in your own head about it,
Mm.
and you don't want to forget stuff. And yeah, it's tough
It is tough.
for sure.
Well, hey, thanks so much for playing the icebreakers. I know it's kind of goofy, but I hope you enjoyed those, man.
Dude, I was into it. Thanks for I can get a little ranty,
No,
I
you're
can talk.
good.
So yeah, thanks for
This is the right platform to be that way.
hell yeah.
Okay, it's time to take a fucking break. I know you guys want to hear some music, and I do too. And we're going to listen to some shit that really fucks, okay? It's going to be 09 with Masquerade. What'd you think it was going to be? We talked about this song a lot on the show. And of course, I love this song. It features Matty Mullins. Matty Mullins of Memphis May Fire. I got into them super fucking heavy 2012 with Challenger. Such a good album, okay? I remember watching all these fucking music videos online, and I just remember Memphis May Fire being a huge part of my day. Every fucking day I would start off listening to one of their songs on a playlist. I fucking guaranteed it because they were all over. At the time, it was like Pandora, so I don't know if you fucking Pandora heads are still out there, but I used to fucking play them all the time on Pandora because they had a sick fucking curated little station going on. But anyway, I digress. This song is super good. It's super positive. It's just what you need to get through this fucking day, dude. I know you're probably having a hard time at work. You're like, fuck, I cannot wait to go home. Lunch is over. And my boss keeps looking at me. They're a fucking asshole. So if your boss is an asshole, this one's for you, bro. No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully this cheers you up. I know it cheers me up. It always makes my fucking day. So you know what? We're going to turn your shit around, okay? Let's get into it. Wait no longer. Masquerade. Let's fucking go.
I hear my name.
But anyway, what have you been up to lately?
Dude, as far as the band goes, well, as far as I go, all I've pretty much done is '09 stuff, which has been tough just with the pandemic. We haven't really been getting together. Everything for the most part's been remote.
Mhm.
So right now we're running an Indiegogo campaign. We're halfway to our goal for the new record. And we're just writing the last couple tunes, it's been interesting writing remotely with our producer and sending files back and forth and streaming stuff to each other. And I got up there in September to track drums for a couple new songs. Chancellor got in, so we've been productive this year. I think the most productive thing for us is, we got this track with Matty dialed in, and that kind of opened the floodgates with like kind of pitching to other guys and them taking it a little more seriously and like, getting some of our favorite artists for the full length. So we managed to salvage 2020 in some way,
Right. And so like for people that are listening and they're not, too familiar with '09, we'll just kind of give a little background about that. So it's you and your buddy Chancellor. You guys apparently like you grew up together, right? You guys are childhood buddies.
Yeah, man. We grew up. We met at a summer camp way back in like 7th grade, and that's the first place we ever played music together. Was at a summer camp, and the rest is kind of history, I guess.
All right. So like the most interesting thing I saw about your project, or at least it's what, it says in your description on Spotify, but you guys have like kind of foregone the whole, we're going to have a lead vocalist thing. And so you guys are just going to feature different vocalists. Is that the deal with the?
Yeah. So like you can tell by pretty much everything about our band is like just doesn't make sense from like a marketability or commercial standpoint, because we really did start this as, like I was playing in another band. Chance was mostly kind of a gun for hire and wasn't really doing his own thing. And he was hired to write this other EP with this other band I was playing with. And we're like, dude, why don't we just do this for ourselves? Like, let's do our own thing again. It's been so long, like whatever. And so we were kind of kicking around the idea, and like we were very explicit in saying like, because we both have careers and like, he's married and like, we're 28. Like, we're not trying to like, our thought process was we're not trying to like be a band, quote unquote. We just want to make some music. So we said, well, we know so many killer singers. Some of our best friends are like just phenomenal, and we're like, let's just go in and write a couple songs and do a song with everybody. And like, let's just do it. And so
crazy.
we did. And, somewhere along the way we said, well, this is cool. It's also really expensive. So if we're going to do it, let's at least try to do it right and just see what happens. And so I don't think the philosophy of what we're doing has changed at all. We just want to, I guess we're kind of doing our due diligence to like get it into the world and, and hope people like it. But at the end of the day, it's like, we're doing this because it's an outlet, and it was just sort of a passion thing. And we're super stoked, like we had this connection with Matty and we pitched to him and it worked out. And that sort of, like I said, is just domino effect, so it's cool. Like, I'm really stoked on it. We'll see what happens going forward. Like, but right now we're just focused on our goal that we set out with, which is let's just write a record for us and do it with some of our favorite singers. And that started off, some of our best friends, and now it's some of the guys we kind of grew up listening to. So it's cool. I'm super excited.
Super interesting. So like, what was your plug with him? I just kind of assumed. Have you heard of Featured X?
Yeah.
So
That's actually how we got in touch with Cove, was through that website.
okay, I was just like, I wonder if they're on a platform like Featured X. And for those of you who don't know what it is, I'm not assuming that everyone knows everything. Like me, I'm kind of an idiot, but Featured X is where you can do your, artist for hire type thing. I think it's made by who it Tuck from Fit for a King. It's this
Yeah.
website that he created, I guess, or is in part of, and you can hire some of your favorite artists to be on a track with you. So
Yeah.
I just didn't know if you guys were going through that sort of platform or.
Yeah. So Matty, our hookup with him was Chris Ratzlaff. We did a song with him, and they knew each other from back in the day. I don't know if they toured together or whatever, but Chris is in Fall Star, and they knew each other, and so we just said, hey man, let's just pitch him a couple songs. We got his email, and the rest kind of worked out. Yeah, we got in touch with Kellin, Rory. We got in touch with them on like Instagram or whatever. But Cove, yeah, Featured X was really cool because it gives you a direct line to these guys, and it's cool for the artists as well because they're like, especially during this pandemic where no one's doing jack shit.
Yeah.
It gives them more of an outlet to do some cool stuff and make some money, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It was a good resource for us. So I think Kellen's on Featured X, isn't he?
I believe so. I
Yeah.
think like, I mean, I don't want to just spitball, but like, I think like Shane Told might be on there.
Okay.
I don't know. I know a lot of like your more hardcore screamo type guys are on there too. Do you guys have like any like screamo? I'm just saying that as a joke, but like, do you have any more like screaming songs coming out with anyone?
The song we're working on right now is our heaviest song.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I can't say who we're talking to until it's like,
For sure.
done. But he's committed to it. I think it'll be our heaviest song just because of who he is and what he does.
Mm-hmm.
But instrumentally, even it's definitely kind of far left for what we have done.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, let me think. Cove has a little bit of screaming, but not really. I think Matty might have the most screaming so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mostly just focused on just writing like super catchy parts and like and I'm into the screaming thing, but Chancellor less so, and our producer less so, and so we're talking to a couple different guys, a couple of buddies of ours who are in metalcore bands, and we've talked about for sure like what would a collaboration with them look like. Like we have our buddies playing a band called Artemis Calling, super dope metalcore band, and I'm like, dude, we should just do a 09 X Artemis collab, but like, what does that look like for
yeah,
what we're doing while still being true to like what you guys do? And so, for me, it's something I want to pursue because I love heavy music. But it also has to make sense within like the 09 universe, right?
Yeah,
Which,
definitely.
As it is pretty like, we do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and having different singers is like, you can kind of get away with more,
Right.
But Matty's song was like the first, like Masquerade was the first time we did any screaming, and we kind of like dipped our toe in to see what people, how people felt about it. So yeah,
it's interesting as hell, man. Like you don't see really any projects. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out of pocket here, but I mean, I haven't seen any like other projects that kind of do that sort of thing. So I think it's interesting to see like who you guys are going to have in the future. I think it's just going to be so exciting to, get an 09 release and just be like, who you guys got this time, That's super dope.
It's definitely like I said, from a marketability standpoint, like not only is the name like, definitely if we had gone into this thinking like, all right, we're going to be like a legit band, the name probably would not have been what it is. But again, this is a passion project, and it's, the name 09 has a really specific meaning to us. And like, that was the whole point of the project. We weren't thinking like, what's it going to look like in 2 years? We just wanted to make
Yeah.
some tunes that we wanted to listen to. So I think as far as having different singers, again, that's like tough because people, I watched someone do like a reaction to Masquerade.
No shit.
He's like, what's the band name? He wasn't quite sure the band was. Is this Matty's band? Is this, he wasn't quite sure what was going on. He's like, wait, is Matty singing the whole thing?
Yeah.
So, it's kind of a mixed bag, but again, at the end of the day, it's just about making some sick music with some cool people,
Yeah, definitely.
So.
Well, now that you brought it up, so what does 09 mean? I typically don't like to ask, like, what does a band name mean? Because, some people just, I don't know why that's like a taboo question. Then, like, in my realm of interviews, like, you never ask what the band name is or something.
I think it's probably because it's the most asked question.
For sure.
Like every dude in a band has been asked in every interview, like, what's the band name mean?
Yeah.
And like, how many times has Mike Hranica been like, dude, I don't want to fucking talk about The Devil Wears Prada for the 9,000th time, like,
right.
We hate it. Stop bringing it up. So I get it, but 09, so obviously going back to like Chancellor and I's relationship growing up, we were in a band together in high school, and by 2009 we weren't like in a band together. We had both, he went off and did something way more poppy, and I was in a post-hardcore band. But like the year 09 for us was like the most important year in our friendship together. We were 17, we were just about to graduate high school, and sort of that like coming of age, like whatever. So 09 was like the most important year for us. It was the year we had the most fun making music. We were, every weekend our bands are playing shows together. We had a great community in Portland still. We kind of came in at the tail end of like what I think was sort of a renaissance for the scene in Portland, with some of the post-hardcore metalcore stuff. And so we kind of came in at the tail end of that and got to experience that with just a really cool community. So when we were thinking of band names, we were like, what's the point of the project? Like, it's like, we want to have fun making music again for us, the way we did when we were 17. So it's less about like trying to relive the glory days, or like we want to sound the way it's more about just honoring like why we made music then and how we felt making music then, and trying to just focus on that as adults, just having fun and doing what we love, and like this is for us, so that's kind of, I guess that's the inception of the name. And again, now that we're kind of trying to do things the right way, maybe would have made a different decision, but I will always stand by like what it means to us. And so
yeah, that's dope. That's really cool, because like I'm 29, I graduated in 09, so yeah. That's fucking dope. But if you think of it like this too, on every like Apple Music or whatever playlist, you guys are going to be at the top. You know what I mean?
Dude, I said that this week. It was the first time that the name has done us any favors. Is we got featured on the AP, like bands you need to hear this month or whatever, and we were the first hit.
Yeah.
And so our music video got like 6,000 hits off of that, which is like, if we were like, 29th on that list, no one would have seen it, right?
Right.
So,
that's
it has its upsides every now and again.
Right. That's super cool, and probably unexpected, but
yeah,
hey, it works out that way, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, you kind of hit on this earlier, and I didn't want to interrupt, but so you talked about splitting up royalties to features. So how, if you don't mind me asking, so like how does that happen? Like how do you guys go about that?
Yeah, so there's a lot of moving pieces, and there's a lot of stuff we're still figuring out for the release when it comes to like, and I'm trying not to get overly optimistic, because I know that when you have all these artists involved and somewhere in the background a label is looming, even though I have not had any interaction with a label. That's these guys we're operating with independently, but I know in the background these guys are out there, and you never know until everything is legally dialed in. So there's a lot of moving pieces we're still trying to figure out before our full length comes out. But everyone has a kind of a different, when we talk to someone, we negotiate like what the pay is going to be, because obviously we pay everyone for their time, and everyone has different stipulations on what they want as far as royalty splits.
Mm-hmm.
So it varies artist to artist. Some artists don't want any royalties,
Huh.
they just want to get paid, and they obviously get their credit as being, having written the song with us. But and some people want more, and some people want less. So it's, it's definitely it's been interesting kind of navigating that and trying to, we've worked with a lot of cool artists. None of the guys we worked with have come in and been like, well, I want 75% because I'm fucking so-and-so,
Yeah.
No, man. Like I said, the pandemic, like, everyone's just getting by. And so, it's been manageable for everybody. And I think everyone's been happy so far. So
that makes a lot of sense. So
yeah,
basically it just depends on like what they sign up for and like what they want to get out of it. So that's
right,
pretty interesting.
Yeah. There are different types of agreements. Sometimes someone is just literally selling their service, like, this is what I'm doing, and it's all yours. And so,
you don't have to like give out like a monetary number, but like, are these guys like affordable for people who are thinking about doing this type of shit? Is it like something that the average guy can afford?
That's a really tough question. I think if you were to go through a website like FeatureDex and you just wanted like someone to do a verse or whatever, like a typical feature, I think, it's super affordable. For the most part, everyone's different, but because we're doing full songs and we need a full song, we need 3 takes of each line. We need harmony. We need everything. Like, it's so much work.
Right.
And some guys, it's like you taking 3 trips to the studio and you're paying for that time. So, I'm trying to think here without like revealing too many specifics, but
yeah,
it has not necessarily been affordable by any means. And I think, so we're doing a full length record. Full length records aren't cheap.
right.
Our producer's legit. A buddy of ours I went to high school with. His name's Justin Abel. He's phenomenal. It's you can imagine what a full length record costs to produce.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money.
Sure. Yeah.
I think the artist costs have probably been half of what we're paying for the full length to be made.
Wow.
So definitely not cheap. I'm fortunate to have been in a position, with what I was doing for my career, to be able to do that. Obviously we're running an Indiegogo right now, because at a certain point it is just, it's a lot of money. And so, we do have that campaign running right now, but yeah, I would highly recommend that if you're going to start a band, you should not release a record with 12 different singers. It is a lot of work, and it is a lot of money, and it's extremely rewarding, but it's definitely not smart from like a business. It's like I'm never gonna make that money back. That's for me. This was for me. So
that makes sense though.
Yeah.
Well, shit, you might as well get a fucking vinyl of that and just show it to your kids and stuff like that.
That's really, that's the goal, man, is to make something I'm always going to have and be proud of. And like the cherry on top is that I'm working with the guys that inspired me as a kid.
That's awesome.
So,
I mean, yeah, what more can you ask for at that point?
Seriously.
So also, again, if you don't mind me asking, so like, Matty Mullins did Masquerade, your newest release. It's going to be in the mid, or it's just played in the mid roll because we're at that point. But so like, how much of the song did he actually write, or did you guys kind of give him some loose, like, this is what it's about, that type of thing, or you just let him go like full hand with it?
So when we started this, when we thought, well, maybe we're going to pitch a song to someone who we don't know personally, right? Because so far, or to that point, everything had been made with a friend or someone that we knew. Like the song with Malia, Impermanence. We didn't know Malia before we did that song. We met, we talked about the project, and she became a friend. She's local. So to that point, we had written everything with the singer.
Mm-hmm.
And when we thought, well, we want to pitch to some other artists, Matty being the first one, we decided, well, let's write a song. Like, we don't want to just send him an instrumental. Like, this dude doesn't care, right?
Yeah.
Like nobody has time to just be like, well, okay, that's an instrumental, right?
Right.
So we wrote a song, and it was actually funny how it worked out. We wrote a different song for Matty, or with him in mind. And Masquerade was actually something that Chance and I sang on initially. It was supposed to be kind of a one-off where we were like, let's end the year with this song. We'll launch our Indiegogo after this, and it'll just be kind of a fun thing. Like this is 09 at its core, right? It's Chancellor and I. So anyway, when we pitched Matty, we sent him 2 demos, and his guys wanted to hear like what else we were about, so we sent him 2 unreleased tracks, and he was really into Masquerade. So Masquerade was done. It was mixed, mastered. Like, actually, the week that we heard back from Matty, we had already filmed half the music video.
Oh, wow.
And the following week, we were going to do the performance with Chance and I. And like that week after the first shoot, I think this was August. Yeah, we heard back, and he's like, hey, we want to do Masquerade. So we're kind of scrambling, right?
Yeah.
That being said, Matty came in, he took what we wrote, and he put his twist on it. He put his little Matty Mullins flavor, So there's definitely some notable difference melodically that he kind of changed to make it his own. But at its core, it's 09. It's what we do, And so I think that's really cool, though, because, especially when you have all these different singers, it's hard to make something that sounds cohesive, And so I think it's cool that, like, okay, this still feels like us, but it's like clearly like Matty brought a totally different vibe to it. Like, I think transformed the song. And I'm proud of the version we did. I am, but like, this is the, this is the version it listens to, man. It's
the one to listen to, right?
Yeah. So,
well, that's interesting. So I have to ask some type of Memphis May Fire question, because I'm sure there's going to be someone who is listening to this, maybe just for this part or whatever. But like, what were some of your favorite Memphis May Fire songs, albums, what have you, growing up?
I think Challenger's probably my favorite record they did. My first exposure to them was, God, what was the EP with the orange cover? I can't remember the name of the EP right now, but yeah, they had always kind of been, Memphis May Fire was they were always kind of around, like they were one of the bigger names in the scene. And but Challenger's the album where I really kind of got into them.
Dude, that was mine too. I'm not gonna lie, that was it. Yeah. That was sick. I remember seeing them at the last Warped Tour. I know there's like a last one that was in like California or something, but I saw the last one that came through Charlotte, and I'm pretty sure they were like the headliner of that whole festival. So that was fucking sick show, and I've been a long time fan of them. They had like a meet and greet, and their fucking line was stupid long. I remember. It was just funny. But anyway, I think I was like accidentally standing in that line, and people were like, "Oh, you're in the line," and I was like, "Oh, I'm just standing here. Like, there's a fuck ton of people." Yeah. I didn't realize what was going on, but
dude, he's from like the Northwest. I think he's from Spokane or something. So like,
no shit.
We kind of, I mean, that's how we kind of had, Chris knew him because Chris played in that, that early Portland scene in mid 2000s. And so it was funny when we met. We were chatting, like reminiscing about some of those old venues, in Portland, and like, so that was cool. Like, kind of have that connection, He was a cool dude, man. He was really, really, really chill guy. Yeah, it literally couldn't have gone better, dude. He was like, he came in, I think within 3 days of meeting and talking through the project, he had finished the song. It was quick, it was clean. We heard this song for the first time and we're like, holy shit, we didn't know it could be this cool, you know?
Yeah.
So that was a really good experience. And in some ways, spoiled us for some of the subsequent experiences. And I'm not going to name names, but there are some artists that we tracked full songs with that will never see the light of day.
Oh man, that sucks.
It really does suck. But you know, maybe a story for another day. But
yeah, you could eventually do those like unreleased tracks, I'm sure, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. we'll see.
Just depends.
Yeah, it's I'll say that the experience we had immediately following Matty was quite literally the opposite experience, which was kind of a bummer. But I think it was good to like experience both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, man.
And so it's like, all right, that song will never see the light of day, but that was a crash course through, well, this is the music industry. You know? So
yeah, everything's practice. I totally get that, you know, from the podcast world. Not every interview I do is going to be the one, so to speak. So
yeah, for sure.
But either way, you're gonna post it. So like, you know, here lately I've been trying to like post and ghost. I get too wrapped up in the comments. Like we'll do these like reaction videos, and I don't know, we do drunk reaction videos because we don't take it serious. Those. And yeah, okay, cool. And some people, man, they roast the fuck out of me because I say, I don't know, like Andy Black isn't. I don't know that he's 6'2" or whatever. Like I said, like he was short one time. They were like, oh, actually. And I was like, well, fuck, I didn't know. Like, you know, I'm just talking out of pocket, you know?
Yeah. Like, dude, I'm hammered. I'm making fucking videos on YouTube. Yeah. Why the fuck do I know how tall this guy is? Like, dude, people take that shit so seriously, man. It's just like, it's almost fucking funny. It's easy to get wrapped up in it. And like, you know, dude, some of the comments we got when Masquerade first released on our Instagram were not tight. So,
I mean, share. Well, like, you don't have to go through your phone, but like, what were some that you can?
I don't know what all happened, but I know there was some sort of controversy with Memphis a couple years ago. And
oh yeah.
So someone was just making shitty comments. I fucking delete them. I'm like, dude, like if this isn't your bag, or if Memphis isn't, or Matt, what, dude? No one fucking cares. Like,
right.
The response has largely been really, really cool. But yeah, you get those dickheads, and it's easy to like lock in on those and like take it personally or whatever. But dude, I just try to delete them as soon as I see them and not think about them ever again. Because I'm like, there's so much more positivity, you know, and that's the whole point of like what we're doing. And like, really, it's the point of what anyone's fucking doing. If you're like, you know, you're making art, or if you're doing something like this, and like, you know, just having conversations, and like, it's supposed to be positive, dude. Like,
yeah, man. Yeah.
Delete that shit. Don't look at it. You know, but like, yeah, I don't have, he's actually 6'2". Like, fuck off, dude. Like, I
had some funny ones actually, and I like reposted it because I find the humor and shit later on. But like one time, this guy, like I'm married, like that's my wife in the videos, and like some guy was just like, oh, I bet that guy talking about me because I wore a fucking rapper chain. Like it was a joke. And I thought it would be like an obvious joke. I didn't really have to explain it. And then the guy was like, oh, I bet he doesn't pay child support and all this shit. I was like, we don't even have a kid, and she's my wife, and who fucking cares? Like,
dude, that's like, you get some like low key, like weird racist shit. Like, okay, bro.
That's how I feel. Cool. And I'm just like, man, I'm pretty much open to whatever, man. I'm cool with all types. I listen to hip hop. I listen to everything, dude. Like, I'm not stuck in a box, you know, like, yeah, I feel like I don't know. We can get on that later. I don't even want to touch that subject, but like, I just feel like a lot of, I would say like metalheads or whatever, there is this like hatred of like rap music, like for some reason, like not every instance, but I find it a lot more than not.
I think most people listen to a lot more than you would think based on comment sections on like YouTube or Twitter replies, right? But you get those pockets, like really niche groups of people whose like entire personality is derived from the one or two things they're into.
Yeah.
You see it with video games. Like I do a video game podcast.
No way. No kidding. What is it called?
It's called the Console Crusade. Shout
Sick.
out.
Yeah, we'll have to plug that, dude. I'll plug that.
I appreciate it. Yeah, we've been pretty slow rolling this year just because my boy who does it with me, like his life has not stopped because of the pandemic. So
I get
we
that.
just, anyway. So yeah, it's people can be ruthless on the internet, man. That's for sure. But
you definitely have a great podcast voice. I would listen to it. I dig it. So okay, this has nothing to do with music, but I know you guys are like loosely based out of Oregon or Portland. So what's up with the legal drugs thing, or is it not legal, but like decriminalized? Like what's up with that?
I voted yes,
100%.
100%. Yeah, it's decriminalizing drugs so that the hope is that instead of throwing someone in jail for having a crack pipe, we're going to actually devote resources to getting people help they need. And I know the knee-jerk reaction to that are two things. Is one, why do I care about these people?
Right.
And two, Portland's a lawless wasteland. And I know a lot of the mainstream media has covered Portland unfavorably in the last couple of months.
For sure.
Most of it's fucking horseshit. But yeah, when it comes to decriminalizing, it's like, you look at some of these states with the for-profit prison systems, and these laws are made just to, throw someone in a cell and collect, tax dollars off their head. And so I'm like, dude, you should not be arresting someone for having a fucking, ounce of weed in their fucking trunk. Or it's like, if someone's shooting up heroin, like, why in the world do we think throwing them in a jail cell is going to fix anything for them or society? And if you look at the economic burden of, some of these things, like, oh, what a shock. Actually helping these people is better for society,
Yeah.
So that's what it's about. It's not legal. You can't come and do crack in the streets.
Yeah.
And there's a threshold to, like, how much substance you have on you, whether there's intent to distribute, I guess. But yeah, at the core of it, it's about not ruining someone's life who has a serious problem, and instead hopefully getting them the help they need. So
yeah, that's honorable.
Yeah,
I dig that. I didn't know too much about it. Of course, I could have Googled it. Maybe I should have, but I just thought it'd be cooler to get your take on it, seeing as you are from Oregon. It's kind of hard to talk about something that you don't really know anything about, or you're not from that area. So it's like, I wanted the official take.
The memes have been hot though.
Yeah, they've been good. Super good.
So
it's hilarious. But yeah, I do read those. Like I'll read those more like, we'll just say like right winged comments. And yeah, you get a lot of that just shitting on Oregon. And that kind of sucks that it's become like this taboo thing.
Yeah, listen, man. There are a lot of dorks in Portland. And especially when it came to the protests, and this is what's unfortunate, is like you have some really crazy people. Mm-hmm. It's a very, very small fraction of people. But like, do you remember the Occupy protests like 10 years ago?
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, some of those fucking tents downtown right now at this protest are still there from the Occupy protest. Like, you just get some wackos who don't know what's going on or what they're doing, and they're lit. Next thing you know, they've got a fucking shanty town, and a certain subsect of Americans want to use that example as representative of a whole movement, and that's insane.
Yeah.
The same way that a conservative might not agree with a liberal using the KKK as representative of an entire political party, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would be kind of ludicrous, right?
Yeah.
So the people you see throwing fucking bottles through windows, like, dude, that is not representative of what progressives or liberals believe, by and large. And Portland has just always been that kind of crazy, and being the center of a national, movement like this for however long they were. Well, you know, you saw the news coverage,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, it not favorable, but even down here in Eugene, which is largely a college town, dude, that first night of protests, it wasn't fucking protests. It was college kids getting drunk and lighting dumpsters on fire because they
fuckery.
could.
Yeah.
Dude, they were looting T-Mobile and shit. And I'm like, dude, this is like fucking downtown college campus.
Oh my
and you
God.
guys are like, it's just crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy shit.
Those are the people putting the bad names on, people protesting and, fighting for something they believe in. So that kind of sucks. You're always going to have those shitty people, just like in the comments, like you shitty ass people. It's just got to mess
Ruining
up the good
fun
thing
for everyone.
Yeah. But anyway, all right, so I'm going to kind of start wrapping it up here, but I did want to touch on this album that we keep talking about. So like, can you give a name for the album? Maybe somewhat of a release date, anything you can spill.
Yeah, so no name yet. I named some of the guys we're working with that we've already wrapped up songs with, which is super cool. It's supposed to be coming out in July, I think is what we put on the Indiegogo page. Unfortunately, that's sort of,
kind of loose.
There's so much to figure out with all the other artists involved. And, our goal is to have the record done in like February and just, we're going to see what happens here and just full steam ahead. But, yeah, man, it's kind of crazy. It's like a couple of years of hard work, seeing the project grow from just, we knew Justin, like I said, from high school, and he's doing big things. Like, dude is a legit producer, and we just said, let's try this out, and seeing how it's grown is super cool. The album's interesting. It's like, not to say it's a concept record by any means, but like when I look at what everything's been written about, this is like my 20s. This has pretty much been the last 10 or 12 years of my life condensed into 12 songs, which is kind of a trip to go back and like, even though it was all written in the last, 2 years. It's crazy to think like this is kind of representative of my adulthood so far.
Yeah. That's wild.
So we're super excited. If you dig what we do, check out the Indiegogo. We got some sick perks. We're selling our own coffee.
What? Okay.
Dude. Chancellor is a professional coffee roaster.
What? That's insane.
So it's like super good shit. Some t-shirts, the basic stuff, but you can check that out. But yeah, I'm stoked. Hopefully sooner than later we'll be full steam ahead with it. So
nice. And I'll plug that link in the description. So for anyone who wants to check that out, we'll make sure people notice that. Also behind me is your not logo, but the artwork for the single Masquerade. Who's doing your artwork, by the way, if you don't mind me asking?
I have done all of our single artwork so far.
So this one?
I didn't actually draw that particular skull. License it from somewhere else and put it all together. But that's one of the side effects of DIY is you kind of have to try to do it all yourself. And thankfully for the record, we have a super legit designer lined up for it. So should be cool. I'm stoked.
That's awesome. Well, dude, I appreciate your time. Thanks for taking your midday portion out of your whole schedule. But so is there anything that you want to plug or anything you want to say before we head out to anyone who's listening?
Dude, no, other than the Indiegogo, which check it out or don't. Check us out on Spotify. Other than that, dude, thanks for having me on. I get, like I said, I can get ranty. I can talk. So
no, that's been great, dude. I've enjoyed it. This is going to be one of those ones, minimal editing. It was so just the whole way through. I thought it was really nice. I enjoyed this conversation a lot, man.
Hell yeah, dude.
It was a lot of fun.
Cool,
But
man.
anyway, I'll do a little outro. I'll stop recording. We can chit chat after that. All right. So that was EJ Olson from 09. Go check out their latest release, Masquerade, featuring the Matty Mullins. Thanks again for being on the show. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you guys. Yo, that pretty much does it for today's podcast episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, I really do appreciate it. Every listen I get, it just means a whole lot to me. And if you want to support the podcast, you can do so. There's a link down below. I think it's through Anchor. You can contribute as less or as much as you want to. And you don't have to do that at all if you don't want to. Of course, it would just be dope if you shared or something like that. Just let other people know about the podcast, because all these platforms, they do a fucking shitty job of helping promote podcasts. So if you like the show, please recommend it to a friend or give me a dope ass rating or something like that. Or just keep tuning in as always, because I'll keep doing my thing. I do appreciate each and every one of you. And until I see you guys on a future video, shine on.
Hell yeah.